Welcome to the Family Imprint Show. My name's Joanna Lynn, and on today's episode, I wanted to speak with you about something I hear very often when I support my clients. They are completely challenged, overwhelmed, and frustrated with what they call their children's misbehavior. They don't know what to do, and oftentimes look for strategies for how they should navigate some of these main challenges in their household. Because let's face it, it causes stress and distance inside our marriage oftentimes. We bring these worries with us to work about what we should have said, where we could have been a little bit more patient. And what if we started to look at how our kids are reacting to life as their stressed behavior? Because straight away, if we label it as misbehavior, we're already looking down the path of trying to control, trying to make right, trying to make better, and we miss the entire opportunity to look at what's underneath our child's stress behavior. What is it they're trying to tell us with how they're reacting, how they're responding to life? Now, depending on your child's developmental stage, whether they're at home with you, whether they're off to nursery school, or they're attending school each and every day, would the different solutions be available to us? But regardless of where your child is at along that spectrum, the very first place I guide my clients to look is at their child's attachment cup. How full is it? I mean, let's face it, as adults, we have so many different hats to wear. You know, the mom or dad hat, the professional hat, the making a healthy meal and packing great lunches. You know the routine of all of the things that we need to do. Do we ever take a moment and consider, are we just going through the motions with our child, through what needs to be done in the day? Or have we taken those little moments of time out to really be with them? To look into their eyes as we read the story, to laugh with them over something silly, to bring them in, even if it takes a lot longer, in the dinner prep or tidying up together. Where is that place that we can actually feel like a family and remain connected? Because this very thing is what fills up that attachment cup for your child. Developmental psychologist Gordon Neufeld speaks of this at great length. I've enjoyed everything I've learned from him. And the main takeaway was, of course, as parents, there will be times of separation with our kids. That's going to happen. Life kind of demands that now. And so it's not so much about the separation, and it's much more about how we reconnect after time apart. After school or work, or if you're away for some time for any reason, work, travel, or vacation, how you reconnect with that child to let them know, I'm here for you, I've got you eye to eye, tell me about the most meaningful parts of your day. Noticing as well, just simply in the day-to-day connection, how much of when we reach out and connect is more a have to, an ask, maybe even nagging to get them to do certain things. So even think about it this way. If your boss leaned in and said, do this, whatever the big project is, instead of let's do this research, let's explore, the whole interest in you really putting your best foot forward and really stepping into that project would be very different. Well, our kids are no different. And so if a let's clean up the living room before bed is very different than how many times have I told you to pick this Lego up off the floor. And you can tell in my voice, that's a pretty well-rehearsed thing to say. As a mom, I get it. And there are certain times we can't always be on our best behavior. Our own patience cup is not full. But if we can come back to that resting place, I kind of talk about it as coming home to ourselves. If our own cup is full, by giving to ourselves through self-care, meditation, time outdoors, then we're a lot more patient and available to the people we love the most, our kids, our spouse. And so cultivating that practice where instead of jumping straight to that conclusion of, oh my gosh, my kids and their misbehaviors, we start to look at those expressions as stress behaviors, to begin to look at what's underneath that. What can I tell? Okay, every time right after school, we've got an issue here. So let's look at that. Did something happen at recess time? Is the child collapsing under the teacher's expectations or feeling unheard with peers? So how do we look at what's going on that causes the meltdown after school? If we've got some defiance, which is really counter will, I mean, it's spiked at the age of 2, the terrible twos, and spiked again throughout our teen years. But how do we deal with a child who has a lot more counter will, a lot more defiance, and that, I'll do it for myself? To beginning to look at a lot of what's behind that is a need for more connection, is a need to feel understood and heard. And so we might meet that with, of course you're capable of doing that. I just want to help you out a little bit. I'm your mom and I love you. How can I make this easier for you? And you may take them aback at first, and that's okay. No matter how long the connection has felt challenged, maybe even estranged, because you might be listening and you've got an 18-year-old son at home who plays loud music and closes the door, in front of you. No matter how long that separation has existed, you can always rebuild that attachment. A lot of the things I do in my practice is working with 40 and 50-year-olds to rebuild that sense of relationship, whether it's to their spouse, to their parents, to their own children. So the good news is it's never too late. And my invitation for you is to simply notice as you go back home tonight, this week, this month, if you can frame your child's things that they're up to as stressed behaviors. See what insights arise to the surface of your awareness. See what new ways you might be able to meet what they're showing you as you look behind the scenes. I sure hope this has been helpful. If you'd like to reach out with any questions you might have about what's going on in your personal experience at home, feel free to email me at connect@joannalyn.ca. Wishing you a lovely rest of the day.